So John Oliver recently put together a bunch of green screen content of a zebra standing around and dancing and reading a newspaper and a book and everything else like that, and released it all for use in Remix and whatever else like that. 24 minutes of green screen person in a zebra costume footage, completely free for reuse, etc., etc. But in the process of doing so, actually demonstrated a couple different uses for the content, and was basically putting the zebra into situations like in the press briefing room or other things like that. And I noticed when doing this that this was not just like a zebra that was like planted on top of something. This was actually like they had done work such that even when the zebra moved around or someone in front of them moved around or whatever else like that, that the zebra would be occluded. It wouldn't be visible. And I was like, so it's like there's a layered, experience here. And I had never like really seen that in particular with stuff that I knew to be green screen. Like, I know that this happens all the time with actual, like, because movies, if you look at how they're actually filmed these days, they're all green screens, major big budget films are all that way, but I didn't know. And so I saw this and I'm like, okay, well, like, if he's telling people to do this, like, let me start looking around. And sure enough, like, I see a bunch of like handmade YouTube videos with a couple thousand views that are all basically the same thing. They've got this layered look where even as the zebra moves or the person in front of them moves, like it occludes parts of the zebra. And so like I'm digging in and I'm like, all right, how is this done? And so I asked in Discord, and Jose was smart enough to realize that what I was looking for was 3D motion tracking, and I downloaded AfterEffects and I started playing with it, and like it's really cool. Like 3D motion tracking is a complex problem, and basically it's doing like multi-point registration as you're moving through an image and all this other stuff. You can do like layers of occlusion and masks and other things like that. It's really like a relatively complex set of things to kind of track a camera and all this other stuff in 3D space. And After Effects just does it, right? Like it does it, not like nobody's business. It takes time, it takes some energy to get it right, but it's still pretty good. And so I'm like, okay, well, like clearly this is software that's out there and I can use it. So I downloaded After Effects and I started playing with it, and I got it to work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like look at all these tutorials out there for all these things in After Effects that are like, dissolves and fancy flying letters and like artistic style drawings and everything else like that. And I'm like, but wait a second. This is literally like every technique for every like 35-second dubstep intro to a channel you've ever seen and been upset by. Like, you should be really careful the road you're walking down here, that you don't, just necessarily think it's a good idea to add something to your stream just because, or your videos or anything else like that, just because you can. That's exactly how people get these fancy things with a million random effects. Like, special effects should be used minimally. And that's something I'm going to have to keep telling myself, at least for the week, until my After Effects free trial runs out, at which point I doubt it's going to be worth $20 a month to me to continue it.